You almost closed the app 40 seconds ago. Your thumb hovered over the edge of the screen. The pressure built behind your eyes, that familiar flicker of "I should stop now." And then, without you choosing it, something shifted. A new video loaded a half-second early. A notification pulsed in the corner, just bright enough to catch your peripheral vision. Your thumb stayed. You didn't decide to keep scrolling. Something decided for you. Somewhere inside the platform you're using right now, a system has been quietly measuring you. Not your likes. Not your searches. Your hesitation. The exact rhythm of your thumb as it slows down before it stops. It has a name for that moment. And it has a plan for it. What if the app already knows you're about to leave, before you do? In behavioral engineering circles, that moment has a term, exit velocity. It's the rate at which your engagement is decelerating, second by second, calculated in real time. Not whether you'll leave. When. Most people assume their attention simply runs out. They get bored. They get tired. They put the phone down because the moment arrived naturally. But platforms don't believe in natural moments anymore. They believe in predictable ones. If a system can detect the half-second before you quit, it can also interrupt that half-second. Not with anything dramatic. With something small enough to feel like coincidence. A slightly faster load time. A slightly louder color. A clip cut 2 seconds shorter than the one before it, so your brain expects resolution and doesn't get one. This isn't a theory about willpower. It's a theory about timing. And the people who built it didn't stumble into it by accident. But that is only half the system. In 2007, a Stanford researcher named B.J. Fogg published what he called the behavior model, a formula stating that behavior happens when motivation, ability, and a trigger converge at the same moment. Fogg taught a course at Stanford's Persuasive Technology Lab. Several of his students went on to build features used inside Instagram, Facebook, and other platforms still active today. Fogg's insight wasn't really about apps. It was about timing triggers to arrive exactly when a person's resistance is lowest. That idea didn't stay in a classroom. By the early 2010s, a company called Dopamine Labs, later rebranded Boundless Mind, was working directly with major platforms. Co-founder Ramsay Brown described, in multiple public interviews, building systems that could detect when a user's engagement was dropping and deliver a small reward at precisely that point. Not before. Not after. At the drop. The goal wasn't to make you happy. It was to make you stay one interaction longer than you intended. Here is where the system gets harder to see. Sociologist Natasha Schüll spent over a decade studying Las Vegas slot machine design for her book Addiction by Design, published in 2012. She found that machine engineers didn't design for the win. They designed for what they called the zone, a state where the player loses track of time, money, and intention, chasing not victory but continuation itself. Schüll later noted that digital platforms borrowed this same architecture. Not the visuals. The timing logic. The reward doesn't need to be big. It needs to arrive at the exact moment your attention is about to disengage. That is what your exit velocity is being measured for. So what keeps the system running long after you want it to stop? In 2019, former Google design ethicist Tristan testified before the U.S. Senate Commerce Committee. He described what he called attention engineering, systems deliberately built to exploit predictable weaknesses in human psychology, optimized not for usefulness, but for unbroken engagement. Harris specifically warned that these systems don't need to understand you. They only need to understand the average human nervous system, and react to it faster than you can react to yourself. That's the quiet part. The system isn't reading your mind. It's reading your timing. And your timing is far easier to predict than your thoughts. But here is the dark turn. The reason this works isn't because you're weak-willed. It's because the system was tested against millions of other exits before yours ever happened. Every time someone closed the app at second 41 instead of second 38, that data point got logged. Every micro delay, every reload that arrived a beat early, every notification timed to the second, all of it was be tested against real human hesitation, millions of times over, until the system could predict your exit window better than you could feel it coming. You are not being persuaded in the moment. You are being matched against a model built from people who behaved almost exactly like you, weeks before you ever opened the app tonight. The unsettling part isn't that the system reacts to you. It's that it already knew what you were going to do, because someone like you already did it first, and the platform learned from them. Your hesitation isn't private. It's training data. And the app isn't responding to who you are. It's responding to who people like you have already been, thousands of times, in that exact same second of doubt. Step back, and the picture changes. This isn't a story about one notification, or one extra video. It's about an entire industry that stopped asking, what do people want, and started asking, what do people do right before they leave? That question changes everything downstream. Features aren't built to satisfy you anymore. They're built to catch you at the exact threshold where satisfaction was about to end. Your sense of free scrolling, the feeling that you're choosing, moment to moment, to keep going, was never the full picture. Underneath it, a separate system has been timing your hesitation against a dataset built from millions of other hesitations. You think you're deciding when to stop. The system has already decided when to stop you from deciding. That's not a metaphor. It's an engineering principle, refined version after version, deployed across nearly every platform you touched tonight. And it doesn't need you to notice. It only needs you to stay one beat longer than you meant to. You almost closed the app 40 seconds ago. You're still here. Somewhere, that gap between those two facts is being measured right now, and used to build whatever stops the next person, exactly like it just stopped you. If you enjoyed this exploration, subscribe for more stories hidden in history, science, and the human condition. And until next time, stay curious.